Welcome to the Nehemiah Business Lifecycle Podcast. My name is Patrice Tsague. I'm your host. Wow, today's special. I'm here today with this young lady who I'm just so impressed by, and you'll understand why as we go through the podcast today. We're going to talk today with YOUGAN Divine Glory, or known as Glory. Glory is an entrepreneur. She's a social entrepreneur. She runs a nonprofit organization called Educate Young Girls. This nonprofit uh, really works to address the problem of young girls needing education. I want you to hear some of the things here on her website that in terms of some of the statistics that she has here. 130 million girls are denied the human right to educate around the world, to education around the world. 3+ million girls between age of 10 to 19 years old in Cameroon, which is the country that I'm from, she's from as well, are not educated. 70% of Cameroonian girls are illiterate. 80% of girls in Cameroon do not complete secondary education. She states that here's a problem. To educate a girl to build a brighter future, unfortunately today, more than 3 million girls from 10 to 19 years old in Cameroon are not in school. It is alarming that only 20% of girls in Cameroon complete secondary school. And then she's going to say, we know that countries with more girls in secondary school tend to have a lower maternal mortality rates, lower infant mortality rates, and lower rates of HIV/AIDS, and better child nutrition. Depriving girls from education is keeping them in a cycle of poverty, and she kind of goes into it, and so that's why she exists. She has an amazing program. She's also a new biblical entrepreneur. I just discovered her in a biblical entrepreneurship class that I was co-teaching with a group from Cameroon, and I was just so impressed by her. And I'm cheering her on that she would win the competition, because I tell you, she's going to give Kenya a run for their money. Gloria is also Cameroon born, which is what just won my heart as a fellow Cameroonian. And I said to her, I looked at her, I said, wow, the future of Cameroon is bright, seeing you here today. Gloria, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Pastor Patrice. It's such a pleasure to be here, first of all. I think you summed it all that we made at the Bible entrepreneurship class. And it's been a pleasure, honestly, so far. And it's always a pleasure being here, and hi to everyone else. My name is Glory. You already know that. I think you said a lot. But yeah.
Well, Glory, we're gonna have a conversation. I was just so impressed by your. So Glory did when you go to the biblical entrepreneurship class, you have to present a pitch deck, and Glory was testing her pitch as she prepared for her competition, and I was just so impressed. I said, Glory, we got to have you in the podcast. So, Glory, first of all, I was and I hate to say this, I was so surprised that you're a Cameroon young lady. And because unfortunately, as a fellow Cameroonian, when you think of Cameroon, I don't, maybe because I'm not a lot around Cameroonians, so I don't see people like you. Is that wrong of me to think that? I mean, am I being overly judgmental here?
I think
Should
you
I
are. Because
go ahead?
actually, I feel like in all the countries all over the world, there are gold mines everywhere. There are
Mm.
always beautiful young minds out there, just people that don't have the opportunity to express themselves. So I don't want to believe I'm the only one in Cameroon. I feel like there are a lot of young girls in Cameroon, a lot of young men in Cameroon full of brilliant ideas, but just lack the opportunity to do whatever they're dreaming about.
Oh, well said. Can you run for president one day in Cameroon? This is just incredible.
This is the
So
second
let's go
time.
back. This is the second time somebody. So, Glory, what led you to take the biblical instruction class?
I've loved entrepreneurship my whole life. I mean, I'm young, but I've loved I've known entrepreneurship for a long time, from my mother, and also from my dad. And honestly, I fell in love with it. And I didn't want to run entrepreneurship in a very capitalistic or running according to the expectation of the world. I kind of wanted to tie it to my values and one of my most precious identities, one of a Christian. I really believe that my business should follow the values that I have as a Christian. So that was really what brought me into the entrepreneurship biblical class, because I wanted to know how can I run my business in a more kingdom centric way, without at the same time making it contradictory to the economy or whatever I'm doing.
Oh, wow, that makes sense. So far, have you enjoyed it? What has been most impactful for you in the class?
Honestly, it was just discovering myself. The most important part for me was discovering the promises of God, not only for me, but also for my business. And also just understanding what really led me to it in terms of what verse am I depending or relying on. What can I say was the background story in terms of faith of my business, and also how does it lead to like kingdom, because at the end of the day I believe is kingdom come, is your kingdom come. That's the highest prayer. So it's like going through this journey or this class was really an opportunity for me to know how can I align my business and grow it in such a way that now and in future years, even when I'm no longer there, that it still keeps its main purpose of being a kingdom centric venture.
Oh, that's incredible. Gloria, I'm curious, how old are you?
20.
Oh, my Lord. I remember I was 20 years old. I am just so proud of you. Gloria, let's go back a little bit. You're now based in the United States of America. You're based in Boston, Massachusetts, right? When
Yeah,
did you come to America?
I came 3 years ago.
Only 3 years ago. Wow. So let's go back a bit. So you grew up in Cameroon till you were 17. I left Cameroon when I was 11, 10, 11 years old. So what was it about your childhood in Cameroon that shaped you the way you are today?
I'm the firstborn. It's funny, but that's one of the identities I've shaped a lot of who I am, the responsibility part, the generosity part, the taking care of people part, the adventure part of me. I think that has shaped a lot of who I am. As a firstborn, you're expected to do a lot of things. And as a firstborn daughter, you're expected to do even way more things. So I think that shaped me. But also, I grew up in a Christian home. So, really, values like integrity, authenticity, love, generosity were key points of my growing up. What else? I've always had nice people around me. I would say,
Mm.
and I'm grateful for that. Whether be teachers, parents, neighbors, I've always had great people around me, and I would say that's one of the things that shaped me as well.
Oh, wow, that is incredible. In terms of your parents, they must be proud.
I hope so.
Yeah. And so, what is it when people think of Cameroon or Africa, they don't think of it may be a little bit like me, where their bias is from the negativity. But could you enlighten us a bit? What are the good things that people should know about Cameroon?
There are a lot of good things. People are friendly. I feel like I should emphasize it more, even now that I'm in the US. People care about you. There is just this sense of community that is in Cameroon that you cannot
Mhm.
replicate in the United States. I'm sorry to say that, but it's just the truth. In Cameroon, your neighbors are your parents, your neighbors are your sisters, your neighbors are your brothers, and they regard you in high esteem, and they push you to become the best version of yourself. The second thing I would say is food. The food is quite good, and people don't know that. It's not mac and cheese. Nothing against that, but the food is really nice. And another thing, I just like the opportunity there is in Cameroon. As I said, it's just a problem of lack of access. because when I think about all the ideas I've had about Cameroon, be it on the agricultural level, be it in the non-for-profit sector, be it in real estate, be it in education, there is a lot and lot of opportunity that is available not only for people to be there, for people to invest, for people to make a living, and for people to become actually. And that's what I love about Cameroon. Once you have the resources, finding the opportunities is not hard.
Oh, that's incredible. I'm talking with Glory. Glory is currently finishing her biblical entrepreneurship class. She has an organization that she founded that she did called Educate Young Girls that focuses on helping young girls in Cameroon with literacy issues and helping them educate them so they
Yeah.
can be part of a functioning society. Uh, Glory, what led you to come to the United States?
I would say growing up, it was always a dream. It's true that I didn't think about the United States. I was focusing more on Canada because at the time a lot of people were traveling. And it's always been kind of known in Cameroon that getting an education, foreign education is always best, even if you want to come back to the country. So it was for that reason that I really wanted to like travel abroad. And then the opportunity of the United States came to me, and that was an excellent opportunity with my current school, Smith College, and that was nice, and I took it. But when I look back, I think I decided to come for two major reasons. The first one was just to know what the world has in reserve for me. I feel like different places have different good things, and it's always good to know the culture at different places. It just opens your mind to new opportunities and new realities. And the second thing, as every other international student, is to study and work. And that's always it. But yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. So far, has it worked out for you? Are you enjoying America? It doesn't have the food that Cameroon has and doesn't have the community, but are there things about it you like?
Yes. People are nice. When you find your people, not everyone is nice, but when you find your people, they are nice. I really appreciate not only America but my college where I am now. I found really nice people, really supportive people, and I love it when you have people around you that can push you further and that can
Mm.
keep you accountable and ask you, what are you doing now? You said you will do this, why are you not there yet? And I just like that kind of dynamic because it just keeps me awake in a sense
Oh,
and brings me forward.
no, go
So,
ahead.
yeah.
I love it. What college are you going to? Are you
Smith College, actually.
Wow. I know they're happy to have you. People may be watching and listening now. They're saying, "Wow, she speaks such good English. She only came here 3 years ago." Could you tell them why you came from Cameroon, but your English is so good?
Um,
Because they would
I
expect
did,
you to be speaking French.
I know, right? I did a bilingual primary school, so we were taught English and French. And when I graduated from primary school, my entire secondary school was in French. But somehow the English just was just stuck at the back of my mind. So when it was time to apply for college, I realized that my English was still good. And that was how I picked it up where I had left it 6 years back.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's just it.
Yeah. And it also helps that Cameroon is bilingual, right? So in
Yeah.
Cameroon, you can, English and French are dually language, even though French is the dominant one,
Yeah.
but they're both legal language of the country. It's kind of like Canada.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It's an
incredible.
advantage.
So let's talk about educate young girls. So again, I'm talking with Glory. Glory is the founder and CEO of an organization called Educate Young Girls that focuses on helping young girls in Cameroon with illiteracy and empowering them towards a better future. So what led you to, so first, when did you start this organization? Because you already had it before you came into the Nehemiah project, right?
Yes, I already had it. We started in 2023, but in a more official way, I would say last year. We're pretty new. This is our second full-time, real-time year. But Yeah, just to answer it
So
plainly.
what led you to start this?
A lot of things I will say, but I will say it was just out of the realization that I was privileged in a sense. Growing
Mm,
up, I remember when I was around 10 years old, there was a water shortage in our house, one of the downside of Cameroon. And I remember going with my brothers to the neighbor's house to get some water. And there was a young girl, about 12 years old or so. So literally my age range. So I approached her trying to be friends with her because she was new in the quarter. And I tried speaking to her French, English. She just couldn't understand. She was illiterate. So I went back home thinking that she was there for primary school education. And unfortunately, the next day, I heard that she was actually the new wife of our 45-year-old neighbor. So that was an experience at a young age that was shocking, but I didn't realize it then, if I have to be honest. I was scared, but I was kind of fortunate because I graduated from primary school, then got a scholarship that sponsored me throughout secondary school, then applied to Smith and got another scholarship sponsoring me through my bachelor degree. So when I arrived at Smith, my first year, there was a workshop that was offered in the Entrepreneurship Center, and it was just about who are you and discovering your brand and your identity. And as I was reflecting, that was when it stunned to me that I'm fortunate and that I was privileged and that a lot of girls in Cameroon didn't have this opportunity, right? So I just decided to start a project. At the time, it wasn't educate young girls. It was just a mere project, one awareness campaign, distribute books, and talk about the importance of girls' education, and that's it. And we did it in 2023, and the results were
wow.
massive. The girls were calling us back. The mothers of the girls were asking us to come back. They were so happy. And that was when I realized that actually, why not do it big and impact more girls? And that was how it started, literally. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. How old were you when you had that incident with the young girl who was married to a 45-year-old?
About 10 years.
Oh my, and how old was the girl? How old was she?
She was about 12 each or
Oh
something.
my
Yeah.
goodness. And that stuck with you, and you're
Yeah.
now doing something about it. And so you believe that as the more girls get educated, that kind of thing will stop.
I believe that, first of all, as more people get to know about the importance of education, they are more likely to stop sending their girls in early marriage. Because in most of these
Mm,
communities, we realize that it's just a gap of knowledge. They don't know any better. They haven't been taught about why they should educate their girls, what are the benefits they get from it, so they don't do it. And I also believe that when girls get educated, really they can grow up to also educate their children to be more financially stable, to be even aware
mm,
of the society and help make policies that can better help children, mothers, women, and the entire nation, literally.
wow, that is incredible. As a young lady who is really pioneering, championing women empowerment and women education, the last 10 years, 10, 15 years there's just been the rise of women, with almost the first woman president, with the first woman vice president in the United States, that is. All the women that have been rising up, at least here in America. Have you have you been liking what's going around the world in terms of women being more empowered? How do you feel about all of that, what you've been seeing with women being
I
elevated?
I love when role models are brought up, honestly, because I feel like before you become, you kind of look at someone and you're like, oh, I like this about
Mm,
you. And you say, I want this trait. And I really love the fact that more women and more young girls are kind of rising. I've been loving the movement that has been rising to educate young girls, not only in Cameroon, but in East Africa, in the whole of Africa, in Asia, and all around the world. I really love that. And I will say that Though I love it, there's still a lot that needs to be done. It's true that we celebrate the
Mhm.
success, we celebrate how far we've come, but I believe that there's still a lot to be done. And to actually do this whole job, we still need more girls to rise. So I think there's still a place for growth, actually.
Oh, awesome. So, what I love about you doing is that my mother, I'm not sure if you knew her, but she was a woman's gal. I mean, her whole thing was really seeing women rise, and it's just she would have loved what you're doing. She would have loved you because she just loved to see. She broke all kinds of barriers, and I learned from my mom this idea of respecting women and women empowerment and the fact that women are able to break barriers, that there shouldn't be constraint. She was a traditionalist as well as a progressive, and that nice blend. So I'm just so proud of you. You remind me of that same spirit.
Thank
Um, so let's talk about your organization in this future. So talk to us about some of the things you've done to impact women so far, and what's ahead for you.
So far we've been having three program is a year round organization. So we have awareness campaigns, and during these awareness campaigns, it's really about educating the population, the leaders, the parents, the mothers, the girls themselves about why girls should be educated. And during those, we have things like free books, scholarships that are awarded to help break the barrier of like poverty and ignorance when it comes to girls' education. We also have programs around reproductive health education where we train students to be peer mentors and we train teachers to be mentors as well, to help guide students around why they should avoid teenage pregnancies and what are the consequences of teenage pregnancies on girls dropping out of school and even boys dropping out of school. And the last program we have is for teenage mothers and is an opportunity for them to reclaim back their lives. So we offer them vocational education around different fields, farming, sewing, financial education, literacy education, with the goal that they become financially stable. And these involve things like microloans, things like follow-up support, community groups, and things like that. That's what we've been able to do so far with over 2,000 girls that we've been able to impact over 11 communities we visited. And that has been really rewarding. But when we think about our future, right now, we are kind of raising funds to build a school, a vocational education school, and we want it to be a boarding school, and it will really be a place of solace and refuge for teenage mothers and their kids. So we aim to build a house where teenage mothers can stay together, have communal childcare, learn together, and also take our classes. So they'll be staying together and at the same time taking our farming classes, literacy classes, and business development classes. And it's a 1 year program that we want to run. And at the end of it, we give them a microloan to start a business. We assist them in starting the business, and we release them into the world, knowing that they are now fire branded. Valuable young girls, and that they also have a community of support. So that program is twofold because we are not only helping the teenage mothers, but we also aim to help their kids because when they are staying together, you can teach them values that can help them even when it comes to parenting. So that's our project right now, building this school. If you ask me 10 years from now what I want a school in every region.
Oh
That's what I
wow!
want. But we go step by step.
Oh my goodness! Every region of Cameroon, you have vision, young lady. So do you plan to go back to come at a certain point and be fully there, or do you kind of just go back and forth as you do this?
For now, I cannot say that I know for sure where I want to be. I know that sometime in the future, I would like to go back to Africa, even if it's not Cameroon. Cameroon, if possible, if not a country that is surrounding a surrounding country. Or another opportunity is just going back and forth. But
Mm.
I'm still thinking about that. But it would be amazing to be back on the African continent, to be honest, even if it's just for the food.
I love it. How has the class? help you in shaping this future for this organization?
I would say in a more, I want to use the word authenticity, if I have to be
Mm,
honest, because I feel like there's a lot of compromise when it comes to building a venture. Let it be a hybrid, non for profit, for profit. If you're not careful, a lot of compromise can come in. Compromise on your values, compromise on your finances, compromise on what you believe in, and if you're not careful as you grow, you might
mm.
compromise yourself more. So the thing that I really appreciated about this course was thinking about sustainability, not just on the financial standpoint, and not just thinking about partnerships, not just thinking about where I want to be, but also thinking about how can we grow in the values we want to promote within the organization. What does the organization chart has to look like? Or things like what do we want it to look like? What do we want the working environment to be like? Not only for me, but for the employees, for the volunteers, for the girls we are serving. So I'll say sustainability on that authenticity point, integrity, value, being a value driven organization has been one of the things I've been thinking about a lot.
Oh, wow. Wow. Now, somebody might say, what about the boys? What do you say to that?
Boys need to be included. We include boys in one of our programs about
Mm,
reproductive health education. And it's just a strategic move because, again, when it comes to relationship, it's not just about the girls. Sometimes the boys too need to be educated about why they should respect the girls. But if we are talking in terms of the whole organization, our focus are young girls. That's the focus. Not because the boys are not important, but because I firmly believe that you need to focus. To grow,
that's
you need
good.
to narrow down what you can do. We all have 10,000 skills, but we cannot be expert at 10,000 of those. So we need to narrow down. We needed to narrow down who exactly do we want to serve, who exactly are we pitching and sponsoring, and those were girls. And I believe and I hope that other people listening else to us will raise and will rise in a sense and decide that they will take care of the boys.
Oh, that is awesome. That is incredible. Wow. Again, I'm talking to Glory. She's the CEO and founder of Educate Young Girls, an organization, nonprofit organization that is impacting young girls in Cameroon. Glory, if somebody's watching and listening and they say, I like to connect with her and I like to support what she's doing, how can they connect with you?
I think I have my email somewhere there. The
Okay.
person
Yeah,
can
the website
email.
is here, educateyounggirls.com. There's her email,
Yeah,
glorydivine@educateyounggirls.org. Does that work?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
connect
best
with
way
her.
to connect. Is the most straightforward way.
Yep, yep, yep. And so educateyounggirls.org or go to or send an email at glorydivine at educateyounggirls.org. And you can, if you're a member of the e-community, you can also find her on the e-community platform, the directory. She's a
Yeah.
member. And so, Glory, before we land this plane, I've got a couple more questions to ask you. The first one is, so do you think you're going to win this competition coming up?
That's a funny question. I won't be doing justice to the other participants if I say bluntly yes. But I think there's an opportunity to win, and it's always a pleasure. But I think the last time we talked, you said I won already, and I sat with that idea that winning is not just about recognition; it's also
Mm.
about me being happy of what I've achieved, what I've done, what God has been doing through me, and I think that's already a victory to have even started. Um, it might happen that someone needs that money more than me, and if God decide that, fine. But if God also decide that I'm the one to win it, why not? It will also be a
Oh my
pleasure.
goodness. What a girl. Oh, that is awesome. Glory, here's my dream that one day, even if I have to pay for it, you and I will fly to Cameroon together. I just want to go to Cameroon with you because you represent what is good, what is wonderful, and what is hopeful. Not just about Cameroon, about Africa and about our world. Don't you change, okay? You keep that up. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Um, before we leave though, Gloria, I do have one more question for you because we do want to give our people who are listening, watching
Yeah,
some advice. Okay with you?
Yeah.
All right. But before we do that, I want to encourage those who are watching and listening. I want to first thank you guys for watching and listening. And I want to encourage you guys, if you enjoy this podcast and you enjoy Glory's story, you can visit her. First, let's start with Glory. You can visit her. You can go to educateyounggirls.org to learn more about her organization, connect with her directly. And if you want to know more about Nehemiah, the Nehemiah Church community, and how you can, we can partner with you, like we've partnered with Glory, and help you through your entrepreneurship journey. You can visit us at nehemiahecommunity.com. Sorry, nehemiahecommunity.com. You can go there and learn about our training program, whether it's biblical entrepreneurship, serve with love, identity and destiny, passive income continuum. You can learn about our coaching program, whether it's one-on-one coaching, group coaching. We believe that everybody needs a coach. You can learn about our access to capital. If you're looking to raise capital to grow your business, we can give you techniques and resources and even connect you with Kingdom Impact investors who might be willing to come alongside you should you qualify. You can also learn about our community. We have close to 5,000 members in our community from all over the world, entrepreneurs like Glory, that you can connect with, network with, and work with as you seek to build your own business. Membership does have its privileges. We have connect meetings, we have our live group, and we have various opportunities for you to engage and connect and growing your business. By the way, speaking of engaging and connecting, coming up on the week of May 6th, we're going to have in Orlando, Florida, we're going to have our best practice conference. If you want to join us physically to network and connect, learn and grow, we're going to have entrepreneurs from Kenya. We're going to have entrepreneurs from Congo, from Mexico, and of course, other parts of the United States. As we tour businesses, as we have an all-day conference, as we have a discussion around policy, trade policy. What does that mean for your business? How do you pivot? And what are the things coming up? So we're going to have education on that. And of course, we have our impact brunch. So join us in Orlando from May 6th to May 9th as we seek to take our business next level and connect with each other on live and a living color. I want to see if now you're registered, go to nehemiahecommunity.com/best practice conference and go there and sign up today. So, of course, if you enjoy this podcast, would you share it? Right? Share with your friends, share with your family, share with your colleagues. Friends share with other friends because I know, as you heard Glory's story, you said, wow, only 20 years old. In the midst of all that is happening, look what she is doing. I want to encourage you to share this with others, young ladies or young men, that might encourage them to do as Glory did. Follow us on Facebook, like us on LinkedIn or YouTube. Follow us there as well on Instagram. Join the community that together we may transform the world. Well, Glory, there are people watching and listening right now, and they're saying, my gosh, she's only 20 years old. She speaks with such wisdom, such clarity, has such vision, such hope. Um, I'm in a situation where I don't see it. Whether it's the trade war, whether it's war in my country, whether it's instability, whether it's just I lost my job, whatever that is, I don't see it. Glory, why should they have hope right now? Could you speak to them? What words of encouragement tell them that despite what they're going through, they can still have hope?
That's a strong question. And my answer is just that envision it, dream it, and you access it. I feel like the first place where everything starts is in our minds. If you can dream of a better world, then you can see that better world coming true. If you can believe that your tomorrow will be brighter and your tomorrow will be better, then you can believe in it enough to take actions, and that tomorrow will actually become brighter. I will also say, think about those days where you didn't have, those days that were hard, the days that you cried, and look at you now. The things you were praying for yesterday were actually answered. So the things you are praying for today will certainly be answered as well. And you are part of it. You are part of the change. You are part of the policy making. You are part of wherever you are, whether in the kitchen, in the room, in Africa, in Europe, in the US, you have full agency to use your potential to make a change. So I'll just say use it wisely. I heard this quote recently that says that time is the only currency that you use without knowing what is your balance and use it wisely.
Ooh,
So I'll just say use your time wisely. Start small, find people that can push you, that can keep you accountable. Start where you are, but dream big. And ultimately, someday you'll achieve those big things.
wow, what a word of advice. I love it. Time is the only currency that you can use without knowing what the balance is. That is so good. Glory, we love you so much. I'm so proud of you, and I want you to keep it up. Okay, that your future is bright. All
Thank you.
right, what I heard and saw here is amazing. Promise you one thing. One day, when I have time and money, I will take you to Cameroon. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair. I've written it down actually.
I, yeah, I want to just travel to Cameroon with a great glory. I tell you, what incredible. Listen, I'm not sure about you, but I enjoy this podcast. I mean, she's so inspiring, man. She makes me want to keep doing what I'm doing. With that, I hope you enjoyed it as well. Let me pray for you, though. May the Lord bless you. May
Amen.
the Lord enable you to steward those talents that are under you, to
Amen.
steward them in such a way that one day, like glory, you will hear those wonderful words. Well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over a few things. He'll not make you rule much. God bless you. Thank you for watching and listening.